Continuing the series of Women in WordPress, my next guest is again another friend of mine, Kiera Howe. Hi, Kiera. How are you doing?
Hiya, I'm good. How are you?
I am good, thanks. It's Monday for anybody who doesn't know, because we don't necessarily put things out the same day we record them. And Mondays always come with their own set of challenges, but it's more than halfway through, and I'm doing okay. So that's good to see you.
Excellent. It's good to see you too.
Thank you. So tell everybody where you live or where you're located and what you do with WordPress.
So I am in Toronto, Canada, and I pretty much do anything. I'm a software developer, so I make stuff do stuff, and one of my choices of things that I make stuff do is WordPress.
Yeah.
So I do a lot of stuff kind of varying from the front end to the back end to I've got hosting and I've got all like server side stuff and I've got some like really very, very front end intensive stuff. So
Yeah, and you've also taught WordPress and you've got your own little things that you've got some Dragon software. I can't remember exactly what it's
yes,
called.
I have Dragon Teach, which is
Dragon
my
Teach.
the little green dragon, which um And yeah, I've taught in the past. Dragon Teach lets teachers, it came from when I was teaching, and lets teachers teach WordPress to their students. So
I love that. And
yeah,
you and I met through WordCamp Toronto. No, WordCamp Ottawa, I think was the first time I met you actually.
could
I
be. I feel
think.
like it's just
I don't
been
know.
so long. You're just
I know.
ubiquitous to the to us up here, and like you're the honorary Canadian of sorts.
Exactly. Can I come live there now? Just kidding. But why is WordPress important to you? Why is that your CMS of choice?
I have a few, but WordPress is it is the sort of the biggest and the the big thing and is like it's the biggest amongst well everywhere. It's the most commonly used one. It's the simplest for an end user, and it's also from a programming perspective, it's like, hey, I can put something together and I don't have to worry about like figuring out how to build a admin interface or anything like that. As all the back end stuff sort of
Yeah.
taken care of. It's just like I'm just gonna slot stuff in that I need to put in, and then you know
Yeah.
it works.
Exactly. I've mentioned with other people, it's scalable and it's flexible. So you don't have to know development at all, or you can be a developer and do as much with it as you want, which I think is one of the beauties of it for sure.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
the great long, like you want to, and you can do, so you can get it to do some amazing things without, and, add on to it. And well, it's open source is always you have to throw the open source in because
Of
open source is
course.
best.
It is. Absolutely. Absolutely. So for women who are either considering or beginning a career in tech and WordPress specifically, what advice would you offer to them?
I always offer every advice that I offer is like learn everything you possibly can about everything because one of those great things about they talk about, the more you do and more things you do, even if they're completely unrelated, they give you a whole bunch of imagination to to solve problems basically. And that's really what all of this is you picking a problem to solve and WordPress is good for that, like solving web problems. Um,
Absolutely.
but yeah, it's like you learn your your front end stuff, learn your back end stuff, and figure out where you want to be. I like to tell people that spectrum across, like you've got design way at this end, and you've got like those hardcore server people at this end, and there's always this spectrum, and people sort of have this distance that they like to be somewhere in here. And so you figure out what makes you really happy to like. Do you want to do the hardcore programming stuff? You want to get in server admin, or do you want to be on the other end? Do you want to make it pretty and make things that look like are colorful and stuff?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Or
Well,
a whole bunch like or. parts and spectrums and sections.
Everything in between or none of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's interesting because like I'm not a developer, but I created a tiny little plugin based off of Hello Dolly just so that I could have an understanding obviously the shallowest most basic idea of how plugins are created and then added to the repository. So I learned that. Do I intend to build more plugins? No, I do not. But I learned that so that I had a better understanding of our whole ecosystem. So, and that goes to your point of learn as much as you can to understand
Yeah.
more. Absolutely.
And even just the from a you don't even have to really like dig in and super go deep on stuff. It's just like knowing something is there and is possible. And that's just like like we go back to solving problems. Once you know there's something that makes solving a certain problem easier, then it's like you just know it's there. And I one of my pet peeves about a lot of the tech industry is that it's just like the answer you say somebody comes to you and says, I have this really great idea. I want to do X, Y, Z. And the first thing out of somebody's mouth is, no, you can't do it. It's impossible. And it's like, and you know, I've run into so much of where the previous people have been like, they said, my previous guy said, no, you can't do that. And I'm like, yeah, you can.
Right.
And so you figure even if you don't know how to do it, you can know it's there and possible, right?
Absolutely. It's like there is no place that when people say you can't get there from here, yes, there's always a way to get there from here,
Yeah.
right? So absolutely, for sure. Well, Kara, I want to thank you for taking some time today to share from your um, your thoughts about WordPress and about tech and some of your journey and for taking the time. I really appreciate the time you spent here today. Thank you.
Well, thank you for having me.
My pleasure.